Hi everyone, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the top 13. I know it's like a odd number, I'm sorry. These are the ones that I picked though of my niche perfumes that I'm so excited to wear for spring and going into summer. I went through my collection, I picked out the top things I'm like excited to revisit now that it's getting a little bit less cold. It's still so cold here in LA, but I can tell there's a change in me. I am ready to retire some of those really like thick, heavy, sweet, dense gourmands and sweet scents. And I'm looking at some more like musky, a little bit fruity, a little bit lighter. I don't know, I'm just in the mood right now to wear a little bit more of an uplifting fragrance, a little bit more of a clean fragrance. And I feel like these kind of represent that. There's a little bit of sweetness though. I had to put some in here, but I feel like these are going to transition me really well from a little bit colder weather into the springtime, into a little bit of sunnier, warmer weather. And these are different than like summer perfumes. So I didn't pick my for sure fruity ones. I didn't pick my overtly summery ones. I feel like these to me are more that spring profile, at least to my nose, and they're all niche. I definitely have some other fragrances, but I was starting to get a little, it was starting to get a little out of control, all the scents. So I broke it up. If you want to see a more affordable or like almost like a part 2 video to spring scents I'm excited to try, then just let me know. I can definitely do that. But I want to give my niche perfumes some love. Definitely, I mean, they're the most expensive. I've bought a lot of these, almost all of these, and I'm down with scents of all price points. I love Bath and Body Works. I love body mist. I love whatever. I just like a good scent. I don't care. I just want it to be a good scent. And I do find for me, a lot of the times I am a little more enamored with niche scents. I hate to say it, but it's true. Okay, let's just get into it though. Enough. This is so boring. Let's get into the perfumes. I'm gonna start off with Juliet Has a Gun, Pear Ink. This one I got through a sampler set, I believe, from Sephora. So Sephora does this every now and then where they will, this is so good. This is like grown-up Garni Fructis or something, like more musky, a little less sweet. It's like, you know, when you have a cocktail and back in the day would have thought it wasn't sweet enough, it's too dry, but now like you're a little bit older, you're like, oh, you know, this is perfect, not too sweet. That's how I feel like Pear Ink is. But anyway, Sephora does some sampler sets sometimes, and this was one of the things you could pick, which was great. It was an awesome value. Juliet Has a Gun is one of the, I feel like, best fragrance houses that Sephora carries, and Pear Ink is this pear scent, but it's super musky. Again, it's almost like a LaCroix in how it is scented like pear. Like it totally smells like pear, but it doesn't have the sweetness, you know? And I feel like that's how LaCroix are. Like they definitely taste like the fruit, but they don't also have like the fruit in them, and I feel like that's how this is. It's just really nice and easy, light wear, really fresh, really, again, that musk is in here, very much in the kind of Juliet Has a Gun DNA, and I just love it. I think it's so nice, and I can't wear. I feel like this is definitely like a spring scent to me. This is a great one right out of the shower even as well, so I definitely want to get some use out of this one for the springtime. I'm like looking here like, what do I want to talk about next? I guess it doesn't matter. They don't have to like go in some order. So let's talk about Etat Libre d'Orange's I Am Trash. This one is so good. This is, I think it has like rose, it has apple in it as well. It has ISO-E Super, which is like what put it on the map for me to try. Oh, and this is another one. It smells kind of citrusy as well right now, but it also kind of has like a little bit of fruit, a little bit of floral, a little bit of something musky, a little bit of woodiness as well, but still light and airy, you know? Like this is just beautiful, and I feel like this is exactly what I'm craving right now. Like I want something that just feels light and airy and isn't weighing me down and isn't cloying and isn't like, ugh, it's like, get off me. Like that's how I feel about some of my more dense fragrances right now. And this one is just so nice and fresh. It's called I Am Trash because they use like recycled materials for this. I believe it has sandalwood in it as well as the wood note. It's just so great. If you haven't tried this, I definitely think this is one of the most approachable from the house. They do some like more, I feel like, weird scents, or I feel like they're a niche house that lives up to like the niche name. But I feel like this is a really likable one from them. I know that Someone Like You is another really popular one, and I almost put it in here, but it's a little more herbal, and so I'm gonna save that for a different video, I think. And the perfumes I picked are really personal, I feel like, to me. Like these are genuinely the ones I like went through my collection like, ooh, I want to wear this. I want to wear this, not just what fits a springtime video, because there's a lot of other things in my collection that could have been in here. But I absolutely love this. This one was sent to me from Twisted Lily, but had they not sent this, I like picked this out because I was like, I'm gonna buy it if not. Yeah, I'm gonna buy that one. It's so good. Absolutely love this. So, so good. I feel like it's a perfect pick for springtime. These are my two newest perfumes. I bought these from Selfridges because a lot of perfumes are a lot cheaper over there. And I added two Byredos to my collection. These are just the 50 ml. I tend to go for 50 mls over larger bottles for the most part, not always, but if I can to save a little bit of money. I mean, my collection's huge, and so I'd rather have a smaller amount. And if I really truly go through it, it's worth it to get the bigger bottle at that point, I guess. So anyway, I have Sundays here and I have Mojave Ghost. I'm just so chatty. These have both been on my list for a while. Specifically, Mojave Ghost has been on my list since like the beginning. I feel like everyone really loves this scent. And I was actually first introduced to this because Way, the hair brand, did a collab with Byredo and did the Mojave Ghost scent in their leave-in conditioner. And that's how I fell in love. I was like, this is amazing. I love it so much. I like gifted it to my friends. I bought myself a backup bottle. I'm still going through mine. It's like so close to being done. I'm so sad because it was limited edition. So I do kind of associate this with hair product now, but it's a really nice, like sweet, I believe there's like a purple flower in here. Let me check. Yeah, it's violet. I feel like that's really prominent in this scent. So it's a little bit watery, a little bit sweet. It also has this note called sapodia. I think that might be how you say it. And I think it's like a fruit of some sort. So I think a little bit of sweetness is coming from that, but it comes off a little bit showery. There's something about it that's just an easy wear. There's some woods in here. It's a little bit floral, a little bit fruity, but nothing that you can put your finger on like what fruit it is. And I just think it's great. It's a little musky as well. To me, this just smells clean. Like it really does smell like you stepped out of the shower and you sprayed in some leave-in hair conditioner. It's just really great. I have this also in a body lotion, and I've gone to some different hotels and they actually had this. When I stayed at a hotel in Vegas, they had like the full selection of the Mojave Ghost as like the body wash, the body lotion. I was like, where am I staying? This is too nice. Who am I? But I love it, and I'm glad to have it in my collection now. Definitely an easy reach. Also, I feel like so many of these are like easy reaches. You don't have to think about them. They're gonna go with any weather, any occasion, kind of like that. That being said, the other one I got, Sundays. Now, this is not for everyone. This is not as much of an easy reach, and I will tell you, the first time I smelled this, I was like, what the hell? What the heck? This is citrus and neroli, and if you don't like neroli, this might not be for you right now, okay? I still think you should smell it because I'm telling you, I didn't like neroli at all. It can give bug spray. It can give cleaner. You know, it can give those things, but there's a cotton candy note in here that I feel like saves this. It adds this really beautiful sweetness, and I love the like kind of astringent bitter neroli that's in here with the citruses, and then that cotton candy adds that sweetness. I like it now. I'm telling you, this is one of those ones where I was just minding my business, not doing anything special. And then like out of nowhere, I was like, I need to smell Sundays. I want to smell Sundays. And from then, it's been one that I really enjoy. This is definitely for me like a spring summer. This one can definitely go into summer fragrance. I think it pairs really nicely with Baccarat. One of you guys let me know that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, duh, those would be so good together. I'm just into this. This just is sunshine. It's bright. It's fun. It's like whimsical without being like too juvenile, I guess, to me anyway. It's definitely different though from a lot of Byredo scents, so smell it first. Like this is not as much of an easy reach. Sam, my husband, does not like this. He's like, yay, huh? I'm like, sorry, I love it. So, so good. Really excited to have it. I wanted to have it at the top of the season so that I could enjoy it the entire like season instead of getting it halfway through. All right, moving on from there, let's talk about Nishane 100 Silent Ways. This is probably the most dense perfume that I have from this list, or like the grouping in front of me. This is a vanilla, like white floral kind of a scent. It also has some peach in here. Ooh, it is so good. This is probably, I need to make a video about like the most easygoing niche fragrances, like beginner niche fragrances to check out if you're getting into the niche world, because sometimes you need your nose to adjust a little bit, especially if you are really into some designer. They can just be a little bit different. They just have a different thing going on, and sometimes that can be a little bit scary, okay? I get the olfactif niche fragrance box every month, and some months everything smells amazing, and other months I'm like, yes, I do smell the dirt and the banana peel rotting. Okay. And that's what you were going for? Okay, love it. Like, I love that. Don't get me wrong. Even if I'm not gonna wear it, I just think it's such a fun experience to smell, but I understand that is not what everyone is necessarily wanting, especially I feel like so much of the fragrance community is like into attracting a mate only, and not all niche scents really, I feel like, cater to that exact thing as much. Like, it's not about likability all the time, you know? Anyway, I'm sorry. This is beautiful, and I feel like so many people would love this. The vanilla in it is creamy and delicious. The white florals in here, even if you don't like white florals, I'm telling you, you're gonna probably like this because I'm someone who wasn't into, I think there's gardenia in here, there's jasmine, there's tuberose in here, and I'm telling you, it is just so good. It is fruity and vanilla and sweet and creamy, just so yummy. And this is one, I went to the store the other day and I was wearing this and they were like, what are you wearing? I was like, 100 Silent Ways. So it gets compliments. I gotta compliment you guys. I feel like I almost never get compliments on my perfume, so it feels so good when I do. I'm like, yes, it's existing. I'm not making it up in my head that I smell that good. Someone else agrees. Highly suggest this. I have a pretty big dent from last summer. That's when I got this. Maybe like springtime last year, but this is one that is a little heavy. I feel like in the most hot weather, maybe it's gonna be too much, but I think it's beautiful. It can work in cold weather for sure, but sometimes if it's really cold or whatever, like the way I smell it is definitely different. So I feel like spring and that first bit of summer is gonna be perfect. I can't wait. It's so delicious, so good. Highly suggest that one, especially if you haven't tried a lot of niche fragrances. That one's amazing. Next, I want to talk about Saint Julep. This is from Imaginary Authors. I feel like this doesn't get talked about that much, but this is awesome, like so underrated. I don't know why. This is airy. It has the same airiness as Baccarat does, so like it's just doesn't have any weight to it to me. But this is, I think there's like a tangerine. Actually, they put their notes on the back. Okay, there's sweet mint in here, definitely something a little bit herbal, tangerine, southern magnolia, bourbon, sugar cube, crushed ice. So refreshing. It's supposed to be like a mint julep. That's what it was like fashioned after, I believe. But I just think it is such a nice, fresh spring fragrance. It has a little bit of sweetness with the citrus. So citrus to you turns a little bit like soapy. A lot of citruses can turn super sharp, super soapy on me in a way that I don't love. This one has enough sweetness and it has like a softness, a roundness to it while still being like airy and just so good. I really love this one and I love it for spring especially. So I can't wait to bust this one out. I still have my woody perfumes in here. This one, Parlez Moi's Milky Musk. I chose this because the Juliet has a gun one that I love so much, Sunny Side Up. It has a coconut note in it. It's very similar. They have very similar profiles, but I feel like that one is just a little bit maybe creamier. Again, it has coconut milk. It has like jasmine in it. And this one is just like a really nice, creamy, musky sandalwood that is so easy to wear, so light and refreshing. While it's just like, this is like an addictive smell to me. This is one of those smells that if I smell you wearing this, I am gonna be like drooling. Like I just love it. I know it's simple and sometimes, you know, people want complexity and I love complex fragrances as well, but geez, this one's just so good, so easy. And sometimes that's what I want on a spring day. I'm about to go on a walk. I'm about to like be out in nature. Like I feel like after being cooped up in winter, you're just like, yes, the days are longer. I'm so excited. It's not dark at 4 p.m. This is amazing. Life's amazing. I feel like this to me is like that easy reach where it's not getting in the way of the rest of my day. You know, I get to just have fun, but I get those whiffs. I get the enjoyment. It's just so good. So that is definitely on there to me. I wear that all year round, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's not quite heavy enough. Like it's a signature, but I feel like it really will shine in the spring and summer. That one is so good. This fragrance I put in here because I am excited to wear it for spring, but I will say this is a fragrance that shows me how much my taste has changed over the last couple of years because fig scents like Philosophos from Diptyque were everything to me. I used to really love this scent called Moroccan Fig from Malin & Getz that got discontinued, but they're very, 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 very similar scents. These like woody, green, earthy, yet still figgy scents were like everything I wanted. I was obsessed with them and I still do like it. Like I smell this and it smells great, but I will say it doesn't do it for me in the same way that it used to, like the same way that Milky Musk, like it was, that's how it was. That's how this was to me back in the day. It still smells amazing, but there is something that comes off a little woody and like a little bit like vegetal and a little soapy at the same time for me. So I'm excited to really give this some nice wears, really wear it a lot now that it's going into spring and see if this is something I can kind of get my love back for, you know what I mean? Because I do still enjoy the scent overall, but I definitely don't feel like my love is as strong as it once was for this. I mean, this is like, I think it's like the fig tree, the fig leaf, the fig itself, like it's all fig really in here. And it does smell good. It does just, you know, bring me to summer. I'm really excited excited for it, but it doesn't hit as hard. Isn't that so interesting when things do that? And that's not one, like, I don't hate it, but it just doesn't hit as hard. But maybe we can get the spark back. This next one is from Wilhelm, and this is Dear Polly. I got this in the Lucky Yellow set, I think it was. It came out just a little bit ago. This was sent to me from Twisted Lily, and it came with 3 different perfumes. I have a short on it, so check that out. But I've always loved Mango Skin from Wilhelm. That was like the first one I smelled. I love that one. I feel like that one's a little more summery to me personally. That's why I didn't put it in the spring one. But I felt like so many of the other Wilhelm scents I just kind of overlooked. I didn't really give them that much time. And so I actually had some time to sit with that sampler pack, and I love all of them. It came with Mango Skin. It came with this Dear Polly one, which this is like a citrusy tea scent. And to me, this really smells like Earl Grey tea with a little bit of honey and like a slice of lemon. Like that's what I get from it. It's not overly sweet. It's a little bit cozy, a little bit like kind of earthy almost. Like it's just really nice. And I feel like it's a good transitional scent because it still has some of those cozy elements again. The notes on this are bergamot and apple. So it has that brightness, has black tea as the mid, and then black, amber, musk, and oak moss in the base. And I just think it's really great. I don't know how I missed how great this was before. If you're into scents like Thé Noir, but you want kind of like a summery, brighter version of it, I think this is a good one to check out. It's very nice. I do tend to like tea scents though. And this one's a little bit green also. It's just really, really nice. Perfect for spring. I feel like this is one that once I use this up, I will definitely be getting the bottle. I feel like I was on my way to tell you that the other scent in that 3-pack was Morning Chest, and that one also is so good. It's like, I think patchouli and leather, maybe some pepper. I don't know, it's so good. It's kind of a little masculine though, so Sam wears it, but that one smells so good on him. And that's another one that I will be getting the full bottle of at some point. It's so good. This one is another newer one to my collection and perfect for spring and summer. And I feel like all year round. Honestly, this to me is like a signature type scent. This is Valleja from Perfumes de Marly. This one caught me off guard. I have a whole review on it, so I will leave that link down below if you want like really in-depth thoughts on this fragrance. But I was so excited to smell it, and when I smelled it at the counter, I just was like, dang, not normal me necessarily, but also I love this. Like I'm obsessed with it. It's very woody. It's very citrus heavy. I also get some of the peach. It's very airy though to me, and kind of like almost fizzy, like almost has like a fizziness to it in some ways. I described this in my review video that it smells kind of like this glass peach that's floating in like a blue sky with clouds, and that's kind of what I get from it. Like it's musky, it's woody, it has those citrusy bright notes. The peach in here, you get the peach, but it isn't too sweet, it isn't too syrupy. It's just so good, and it's exactly what I'm talking about when I want this like uplifting kind of fragrances where I just feel on top of it, you know, like I feel on top of the world, on top of the day. Like that's what this gives me. And it's a little bit cold though. This one is not cozy. It has like a coldness to it. It has like a coolness to it. I love it. It's so good. Sam loves this. It stays really well too. I don't always smell it, but I feel like Sam will get whiffs of it after I've had it on for a long time. So I'm pretty happy with the staying power overall, even if I can go a little anosmic to it, but it's really good. This is definitely going to be a staple for me this spring and summer for sure. And that is so good. Okay, last 3 fragrances. We got some heavy hitters. Okay, we got some expensive perfumes coming. Okay, so this is from Creed. This is Silver Mountain Water. I actually found this on an amazing deal on Costco, you guys, Costco. This was like in the 200s, and then they were doing some type of credit on top of that. So it came out to like, seriously, I think right under $200 for this bottle. This is another one that has kind of a cold smell to it. It's musky and fruity. This has some tea in it, has some black currant. So there's a little bit of a tang going on, as well as some citruses, and it's a little bit green. It can come off a little bit soapy, but I really enjoy this. It's another one that just feels like a pick-me-up. It's like a breath of fresh air. It just feels like it's wind beneath your wings, you know, like gives you that extra push to just be like, I got the day. I don't know what that is, but some scents do that for me, and I feel like this category of scent, that a lot of these anyway, do that for me, and I really, sometimes I need that. Okay, I need that little shot of almost motivation. But there is definitely the fruits. You can smell the fruits in here. This is definitely not something that I would always go for, but I have really been enjoying it, and I love that I got such an amazing deal on it. They also had a Ventus, which was a really great deal as well. Next, this fragrance I definitely want to get some more use out of in the springtime and also into summer. This is One Umbrella for Two from Floriku. Floral, and I got this from Twisted Lily. The bottle is amazing. The packaging is amazing. There's a lot of attention to detail. If you decide to order this, it comes with the bottle, but then it also comes with the 10 mil, and like this turns into a travel case. Like there's some really nice touches to this fragrance, and I've actually smelled a lot from Floral. I bought the sampler after smelling this, and this I think is by far my favorite. This is so interesting to me. This is definitely a niche fruity scent. So I can see a lot of people liking this. I can see a lot of people being like, that is weird, and it kind of is weird. So I get something initially very juicy, like almost makes your mouth water, juicy and tangy. I've heard people describe this as a blueberry muffin with some chocolate, I think. And I see that. I think the actual fruit note in here is like black currant, maybe. Yeah, it's like that tang. It's that black currant tang where it's fruity, but just tangy as well, and kind of sharp and a little sweet, but not too sweet. Definitely that. But then it has this kind of like earthy or like interesting other note that comes in that, again, like I can understand how people would call it chocolate. It's like a tea, I think. There's like a tea note in here, and it's definitely different and interesting, kind of grounds it from being so juicy. You just want to go back and keep smelling it and like figuring it out. I feel like that's how the scent is for me, but I feel like because it's not too sweet, I think it's gonna be really nice, and I'm excited to just get more use out of this. I can be a little picky with overtly fruity scents that don't have a lot of other things going on, but I love that this has a little bit of a woody touch to it, and I think it's a fun one. So I'm excited to wear that one this spring for sure. And then last, I think this is my most expensive perfume in my whole collection, this Bond No. 9. This is Greenwich Village, and I love this on first smell. I'd heard a lot of people talking about this, saying it was really great, and I was like, okay, I want to smell it. And I was already on vacation, so I knew I was gonna get a fragrance, and this was the one. This is the one. And I do still really like this, but it's definitely, I don't know why I don't reach for it near, like it's not, you guys know I love my Baccarat, okay? It's not like that for me. I know a lot of people compare it. They are not. To me, what? They're not, what? Anyway, that doesn't mean this isn't good. This has an interesting kind of sweetness and also a freshness about it that I feel like kind of contrast and make this interesting yet really pleasing at the same time. I always put this scent as well as Zadig & Voltaire, This Is Her, together because to me they both have this kind of creamy sweetness mixed with something a little bit fresh that kind of cuts it in a way that is very unique, and they don't smell similar to me, but then at the same time they kind of have a similar composition in my brain. Anyway, they're just kind of bizarre and a little bit weird, but also I totally get why people are like super into them. It's still somehow likable. This has lychee in it. This has ambroxan. There's praline. Then it has some citruses. It has some florals in there. Then there's vanilla though, and I feel like that vanilla just gives it that sweetness, that tiny, to me, a little bit of creaminess. And I just think it's beautiful and definitely a really nice one for spring, I think. A little bit sweeter than some of the other ones I mentioned here. Not nearly, like it has muskiness to it, but it's not like straight up musky like some of these other ones because it has just a more full-bodied list of notes also going on. So definitely one I want to focus on using a little bit more, just enjoying more in my collection because I do like it, and I just feel like it's one I have to kind of like force myself to reach for some reason, even though it smells so good and it's like, to me, kind of girly. Like, I don't know, I just really like it, but I want to wear it more. So those are my picks out of my collection, my niche favorites to wear for spring. These are what I'm so excited to be putting on my body. I'm so excited for the weather changing, and I would love to know what niche fragrances or any fragrances that you're excited to kind of bust out now that we're getting closer and closer to spring and a little bit warmer weather. I would love to know. Also, again, let me know if you want a part 2 basically and want to know some other spring fragrances. I felt like this video was already so long, so I'm glad I cut it up and just did niche ones and kind of themed it that way because otherwise we would have been here forever. But thank you so much for being here. I will have everything listed down below like I always do. A lot of these you can get at Twisted Lily, so if you haven't tried them and you want to sample them, that can be a good way. Or go in store. A lot of these are sold at like higher end department stores, so if you can take a day and just go smell with a friend, that is so much fun. Anyway, I say all that just because these are expensive and it's always great to be able to smell them and, you know, test them and all that. Really do your full testing on some of these so you don't get burned by a high price tag. So anyway, let me know your favorites. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.